How's it going, people? So, welcome back to my channel once again. And this time I figured I would talk about some underrated, underappreciated horror films that I enjoy that I feel like don't really get talked about enough or don't really get the credit that I feel they deserve for various reasons. So, um, this is in no order once again. Just kind of picked. I think I have 17 that I just picked off the shelf randomly. So um, let's get started. These are movies that I think that if you haven't seen them, I think you should check them out. Starting with this one is, and let me just preface this by saying some of these are well known. These aren't, I didn't pick like the most obscure movies in my collection. This is more just movies that I like that I feel like don't get talked about enough. And so yeah, some of these are pretty well known, and but that doesn't mean they're not underrated. So, starting with Dead Silence. This is a James Wan film. I think this was one of the first ones he did after Saw. And this is actually, honestly, my favorite James Wan film. I like The Conjuring. I love the first Saw. I like Insidious, the first one. But this one to me is the creepiest one that he's done. This film creeps the hell out of me, honestly. And if you guys don't know, well, you guys don't know because I've never said it, but I'm a huge, huge fan of doll horror movies. Evil dolls, puppets, mannequins, whatever. I love that shit. This is a very good one. Because the problem with those is that a lot of them suck, but this is an exception. Love this film, Dead Silence. Fucking cat, sorry. And next we've got In the Mouth of Madness, directed by John Carpenter, starring Sam Neill. This is a fantastic film. In my opinion, one of Carpenter's best films. And you don't really hear about this one too much. Of course you hear about The Thing, Halloween, The Fog, Christine, etc. This one I rarely hear mentioned among his best. But check it out. Really great film, In the Mouth of Madness. And next, I guess I'll go with this one. Okay. Let me just say, there are a couple movies in here that I'm sure people are going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? Bear with me, I'm going to explain why I like these movies. And sorry about the lighting, by the way, once again. I know my lighting is shit, but I'm using my phone as a camera, and, that's just natural light from the sun, so sorry, I can't make the sun go away. And the lighting in this room generally sucks anyway, so whatever. But yeah, I know what you're going to say, but we got The Messengers. Yes, this is the film with Kristen Stewart, Dylan McDermott. But you know what? Out of all of the American J-horror ripoffs, this is probably my favorite one. This one, I like the film. I actually really enjoy this film. Now, and I think that's because it was directed by the Pang brothers, I believe. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, directed by the Pang brothers, who directed The Eye. So they actually at least knew what the fuck they were doing. If you're gonna, be influenced by, the Asian, Eastern horror movies, you gotta do it right. And I feel like they did it right because they directed The Eye, the original one, and other good films as well. Don't Look Up. That's an underrated one that I forgot to grab, but whatever, fuck it. But yeah, it was just Chinese directors doing an American movie, and it works. I really enjoyed The Messengers. Creepy film. Next, we've got Reeker. This is kind of a supernatural slasher, and that's all I can really say without giving anything away. But I really enjoy this film. I never hear anybody talk about this movie. I think this is from 2004 or 5, something like that. Stars Derek Richardson from Hostel. I really enjoy it. Check out Reeker. Okay. And okay, this one, I'm sure a lot of people have seen this one, but I still think it's a little bit underrated, and that is Stir of Echoes. Really one of my favorite horror films of all time, and definitely one of my favorite ghost stories. Um, yeah, haunted house movies. I guess you could call it that maybe. Um, but you have a great performance by Kevin Bacon. Just everything about this movie I love. It's directed by David Koepp, who's a really great screenwriter. Um, I don't think he's directed a lot though. I know he did like Secret Window with Johnny Depp, which I also like. But yeah, really love this movie from 1999. Came out the same year as The Sixth Sense, and pretty much got overshadowed completely by The Sixth Sense. But I actually like this more than The Sixth Sense. So for what it's worth. Next, we've got, this is another one that I'm sure everybody's seen, but whatever. We got House of Wax, the remake, of course, from 2000. What? I don't know. I don't even remember, 6 or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't matter. 2005 or 6 or somewhere in that era where they were pumping out all these remakes. You know, this came after the Texas Chainsaw remake and all that stuff. So, you know, Hills Have Eyes, you know, around that same time where they were remaking all that stuff. This is actually one of the better remakes in my opinion. I like Jared Padalecki. Who's the one? Alicia Cuthbert. You have Chad Michael Murray. And yes, Paris Hilton is in the fucking movie. She's a terrible actress, but if you want to see her get killed in a pretty cool way, you can watch this, because she has a pretty good death scene, honestly. But yeah, I really enjoy this film. I think it's a pretty damn good slasher. Modern day slasher. Next we've got Tourist Trap. This is a 70s film, late 70s, produced by Charles Band. I believe it's a full moon film. Definitely one of the better full moon films. I know that's not saying much, but like this, Dolls, From Beyond, what the hell is that one movie? Fuck. I don't know. Those are some of the good Trancers. I like Doll Man. I like the first Puppet Master. Those are the good full moon movies to me. After that, they just became like, you know, almost like a parody of themselves. But this is a very good film. You could call it a slasher. You could call it something else. I don't know. It's Tourist Trap. It's a classic. Underrated film. Check out Tourist Trap. Very creepy movie as well. And now we have The Skeleton Key, which kind of has been forgotten about a little bit, I feel like, with Kate Hudson. I also have John Hurt in there. A very, in my opinion, great film. Very creepy, spooky, eerie movie involving voodoo, curses, all that kind of stuff. If you like stuff like that, check this out. Yeah, I think it's a great modern day supernatural movie that kind of got, you know, it's kind of fallen by the wayside, kind of been forgotten. And now we have an anthology film, From Beyond the Grave. Like I said, this is an anthology film from the 70s, I believe. Yeah, 1973. And you have Donald Pleasance in this film, lots of great actors in this movie, David Warner. And basically, it's basically Tales from the Crypt, the movie. You know, it's that same kind of film. It's an anthology, and that's all I gotta say. It's a very solid anthology. If you haven't seen this one, if you like anthology horror, definitely check this out. Next, I'll go with Let's Scare Jessica to Death, which I believe they're remaking. I don't know why, whatever. Maybe it could maybe benefit from a modern day update, but I don't know. I love this film. I think it's creepy. It's from the 70s, 1971 or 2, and there's a lot of cool shit in this movie. Check out Let's Go Jessica to Death. Lots of great like imagery, creepy like cinematography. A very well done film. Check that one out. Next, I'll go with Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. This is I believe it was a TV movie, once again from the 70s, and this one was remade in like the late 2000s with Katie Holmes. I didn't really care for that movie that much, but this one, I absolutely love this film. Once again, very creepy, very atmospheric movie about these little weird little creatures that live in this house and kind of haunt the house. Um, and then there's also like ghosts and stuff. Very good movie. Check this out if you haven't seen it. This is a bootleg DVD because I think I got this before it was released on DVD. So, but I would like to get an official copy at some point. You know, so I don't have a lot of bootlegs, but that's one of them. I think I got that at a convention or something. Now we've got Session 9. Now this one, people have started to talk about this a little more recently, but this is like one of the best ghost haunt. I was about to say haunted house, not really haunted house. It's a possession film in a way, but it's a very different kind of possession film. One of the creepiest films I've ever seen. Definitely check out Session 9. It's about these guys who are fixing up this abandoned mental hospital, and basically they start experiencing all this crazy shit. It's haunted. It's a slow burn. It's very atmospheric, very creepy, very well acted, well shot, well directed. Just a great film. Check this out if you haven't seen it. I think it might have been a TV movie as well. I can't remember. But yeah, stars David Caruso from CSI, but he actually does a pretty good job. Check this out for sure. Okay, next we've got The Devil's Backbone. This is a Guillermo del Toro film, Spanish film, and this is once again very creepy, very effective, great imagery, very good directing by del Toro. And you know what? This movie, this is a stupid fucking tagline on the back, like, vastly more frightening and stylish than the others. Like, why are we comparing this to the others to begin with? But, you know, and I like the others, but I mean, there's nothing to do with this movie. But it has a twist ending and everything, very creepy. Once again, it's supernatural film, and yeah, definitely check it out. The Devil's Backbone, great Spanish. If you're a fan of like foreign horror, check this out for sure. And if you're a Del Toro fan, you've probably already seen it. But if you haven't, check it out. If you like his other films, I think that's his scariest film. And next I'll go with, this isn't like a great movie, but I enjoyed it. This was Shadow People. And I think the reason I like this so much was because I am pretty much obsessed with Shadow People themselves. You know, the myth, legend, whatever you want to call it. You know, I'm a huge fan of like paranormal stuff, like in real life, outside of movies, and I thought this did a pretty good job of, you know, telling that story, that idea that, you know, a lot of people see these shadow people, and, you know, when they're sleeping or they're trying to sleep and they see something in the corner, and it's this, you know, the stereotypical guy in the with like the trench coat and the top hat, you know, like that image that you've seen a million times. It's kind of like that. You know, people have seen these. This is a very good film in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was creepy, pretty well done. Like I said, not like a fantastic movie or anything, but, you know, I'd check it out. Next we have a pretty damn good modern slasher, The Hills Run Red. This was a direct-to-video film from the early 2000s or something, mid-2000s, somewhere around that time. 2006 or something like that. And it stars Tad Hilgenbrink, who I like as an actor, but he hasn't done a movie since like 2010. So I don't know if he like quit acting or what. I don't know why, because he was pretty good. And yeah, really, in my opinion, really solid slasher. The killer is fucking really cool. Babyface is the killer's name. And yeah, I wish this would have gotten a sequel or something, because I really liked the killer, and the story was pretty interesting. It was about this lost film that's like this really sought after, you know, film that got lost, and this guy played by Tad Hilgenbrink is basically obsessed with finding this film, and he, you know, goes to find it, obviously, and all this crazy shit starts happening, and, you know, and everybody starts getting picked off. So I would, if you like modern slashers, I would definitely recommend this one. Check it out. Okay, and the final two. Um, this one we've got Birth with Nicole Kidman, and this movie, I think, who was it directed by? Jonathan Glazer. I think he's done some other stuff that I liked as well, but this is more of like a. This is not necessarily a horror film. It's more of like a psychological thriller drama kind of thing. But um, I like it. I like the idea. You know, it's a weird, bizarre movie, um, but I think it's very, very well done. And this is another one that just kind of has been forgotten about. But I really like it. I like Nicole Kidman, and I think she does a pretty damn good job. So I would recommend Birth. Weird fucking movie though, and another very weird fucking movie, Peter Jackson's Bad Taste. If you're a fan of Peter Jackson's early stuff, you know, Dead Alive, Meet the Feebles, The Frighteners, I would definitely give this a shot. Like I said, a very weird, bizarre film, um, comedic, just really goofy, silly, over the top, but a really very fun film. So I definitely check out Bad Taste if you like that kind of stuff. And that's all I got for you. I thought about including movies that I personally like. That there's a difference. I mean, there's movies that I like that a lot of people fucking hate, but you know that doesn't necessarily mean it's underrated. So I left off stuff like Pinocchio's Revenge and Dolly Dearest, and you know movies like that. Movies that I knew people just don't like, and that's fine. You know, just because I like it doesn't mean it's underrated. So, but yeah, that's just random list of movies that I feel like deserve to be mentioned a little bit more, brought up more often, and maybe you know just get some more credit. So that's it. Hope you guys check out some of those movies and let me know your thoughts on the movies if you've seen them. And let me know your list of underrated movies. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and stick around for more videos. Thanks.